call this meeting to order. Justice Tinsley, would you say the prayer?
Well, I guess at this time we'll call the meeting to order.
Change his name.
How's that? Before we begin, I guess, James, you have to open the prayer.
I can do that.
David, you've done the pledge.
I'll let the lady do. Our Heavenly Father, we're so thankful to you for this day and for our many blessings of life. We're thankful, Heavenly Father, we live in a country where we can gather here like this without fear from outside interference. Heavenly Father, we pray that you be with us as we make decisions here tonight. We know that the committees have worked on these things and thought them through, and that we ask for your guidance here tonight as we vote on the issues presented before us. We ask that you forgive us of all our wrongs and help us always do what is right. In Jesus Christ, in your name we pray. Amen.
Next on our agenda, we'll give about 30 seconds of silent time. Dave, if you will start the pledge.
All right, hold on just a second. I have the honor to yield the floor to Harrison Scout Troop 60 to do the honors of leading us in the pledge this evening.
Gentlemen, the floor is yours.
Scout salute. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
2. Audience may be seated.
And I believe they were going to introduce themselves possibly as well.
That will be fine.
Sure. So I'm Todd Anderson, Scoutmaster with Troop 60. We're chartered by the First Presbyterian Church, and we have a group of young men here that are working on citizenship and the community merit badge as well as communication merit badge. So hopefully they'll learn how people effectively communicate here tonight. So thank you for having us.
Thank you.
And I guess next on the agenda, Crystal, if you'll call the roll, please, ma'am.
Harry Staton, Frank Hampson,
Present.
Dan Roberts,
Present.
Brian Snavely,
Here.
Kathy Arlington, present, Sam Tinsley,
Here.
Robert Meek,
Here.
James Hart,
Here.
Ralph Quinn,
Present.
James Widener,
Here.
David Thompson.
Here.
Okay, we do have a quorum. Next on the agenda is to approve March the 8th, 2016 minutes and April the 12th, 2016 agenda. Before we do this, is there anyone has anything that they need to add to the agenda tonight?
You have request to have resolution.
I don't have that resolution with me. That was one thing I was looking for, so. We have a resolution to waive the daily fees in connection with the detention of city and or municipality prisoners and for other purposes. This is in reference to if and when the quarter-cent jail tax is extended, passed by the citizens of this county in the upcoming future. From what I understand, this has been written so we will have it in writing that we're waiving the $35 jail
Fee.
the fee for housing of prisoners. Yeah. And what we're wanting to do, I guess, is to add this.
I'll make a motion we add this to the agenda.
Second.
I'll let Chris
Yeah. Should we not table this since it's not, there's no time pressure on it? Or is it? Should we? I mean, since it's not been there and there's no pressure on it, do we need to do it tonight? I mean, I'm just wondering.
I think we'd rather go ahead and put it on, go ahead and get it approved.
Upon approval of
Because
Yeah. Oh, sure,
it's
yeah.
approval of quarter cent.
Oh, yeah,
extension.
so that's all that's off, is everything else. Just kind
I've got one copy left, it just,
discussion.
pass it on the table.
yeah, we can. I can give them my copy, read off.
Are we waiting for a motion to add that to the agenda?
Well, that's what I was waiting for Chris to sit back down. Sam, make a motion.
And I believe Brian said discussion.
A motion has been made and seconded to put this on tonight's agenda. I'll give you a few minutes to look this over if there's any discussion about this. If not, we'll go ahead and call the roll for vote. We do have the addendum, so. Yes, Tony.
Since it's a resolution that wasn't attached to your package, wouldn't it be a good idea to read it for us that don't have copies?
Yeah, that would probably be a real good idea. This is, Tony, we're just adding this to the agenda. We will vote on this.
Oh, okay.
Jim Hart,
Yes.
Ralph Gwynn,
Yes.
James Widener,
Yes.
David Thompson,
Yes.
Frank Hampson,
Yes.
Dan Roberts,
Yes.
Brian Sable,
Yes.
Kathy Valentine,
Yes.
Sam Tinsley,
Yes.
Robert Meek.
Yes. And since I was asked to put my name on this, I will read this to everyone. It's a resolution. Be it resolved by the Quorum Court of the County of Boone, State of Arkansas, that a resolution to waive daily fees in connection with the detention of city and/or municipality prisoners and for other purposes. Whereas daily fees in the amount of $35 per day were charged to all cities and/or municipalities in Boone County for housing prisoners from those entities prior to the completion of the present law enforcement facility, at which time it was agreed that such fees would be waived, and whereas a resolution number 2011-23-4 to waive such fees was passed September the 6th of 2011, subject to passage of a 1 cent sales tax at a special election held November the 8th of 2011. And whereas the 1 cent sales tax request did not receive voter approval, however, daily fees for housing prisoners from all cities and or municipalities in Boone County were and have been waived continuously since completion of the present law enforcement facility. And whereas the cost for housing prisoners is projected to incur steady increases, cities and or municipalities are requested to review funds received as a result of the enactment of Act 209 and make any portion of such funds available to Boone County Law Enforcement Facility. Therefore, be it resolved by the Boone County Quorum Court that fees in connection with the detention of any city and or municipality prisoners in Boone County are hereby waived, subject to passage of the extension of the quarter-cent sales tax by Boone County voters at a special election proposed for August the 9th of 2016. And that takes care of that one. So
We need a motion.
we need a motion to,
We'll set the agenda in the minutes.
I'll make that motion to accept.
motion has been made.
Who second?
Are we taking it out of order?
I thought we were just adding that to the agenda
That's
and
what we
approving it at the same
Yeah.
time is what I thought we were doing. But if we want to do a separate one, that's cool.
When That's what I,
You were just reading it.
Yeah, just for general information.
yeah, that's, I mean, they asked her, Tony asked her to know what was in this, and that's why. Did I jump out of order by doing that?
No, I was confused. I thought y'all were voting on that. If y'all voted at it.
No, that was.
Are we going to put it on the agenda?
We
and
voted
then
to
vote
add
on
it,
it?
we didn't approve the
That's
agenda.
what you need to do.
Is that what they
We've
did?
done that.
I need to vote to add this to the agenda.
Yes, you already did that.
We
We've
did
already
that.
done that.
You did that.
Okay,
Did it wrong.
I make the motion that we
They
vote on
approved
it.
the agenda.
Agenda
With
minutes.
it in there.
okay, now back to the original item was, to approve the March 8th, 2016 minutes and April the 12th of 2016 agenda
As amended.
as amended. Thank you.
So moved.
We have Brian and Kathy, so we just need a voice vote approval.
Okay. We just do a voice vote approval? Okay. All in favor to add this to our agenda tonight, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
I make the motion that we vote on it.
There's other things on the agenda before we get there.
All right, next is Tommy's treasurer's report.
The beginning balance as of March 1st, 2016 for County General was $2,442,358.46. Revenues for the month were $663,854.68. Disbursements for the month were $1,404,728.98, resulting in a balance on March 31st, 2016 for County General, $1,701,484.16. Beginning balance as of March 1st, 2016 for county roads was $857,178.47. Revenues for the month were $167,668.54. Disbursements for the month were $229,202.64, resulting in a balance on March 31st, 2016 of $795,644.37. 1/4 cent sales tax revenues for March were $102,303.03. 1% county sales tax revenue for March were $232,921.46. General revenue turnback for March was $14,760.92. Highway revenue turnback for March was $83,328.57. The 1/2 cent state highway tax for March was $40,261.18.
Thank you, Tom. Next on the agenda is the Quorum Court Committee reports. Minutes are available, but does any chairman have anything to report to the respective committees?
Finance committee will have some ordinance work here in a little bit,
Okay. The next item on the agenda is announcements and presentation. Now, the presentation of the joint audit, legislative joint audit for the year 2014. I don't have that, and I'm assuming you do. I was going to leave that up to Robert, but,
I was too. Do you want to do it?
well, I haven't looked at it, so I mean,
Okay.
I'll just turn it over to you and let you explain a little bit.
Okay, well, we got, this is for the year 2014. We got it back, and there's a few things that they suggested that we change in a couple of the departments or try to work on. Other than that, it's just basic information, and everything was okay. It's quite a lot to copy for everyone, so I wanted to say that if anybody wants a copy or wants to come and look at this is the only copy I have. I'll make you a copy at the office. If you call me, I'll have it ready for you.
The Quorum Court got copies other than
That's what I thought.
Is that all filed with officers on the list too?
Yes.
We're just supposed to have it on our minutes that we did
we
review
discussed
it.
it.
We can do that, I'm just gonna say, if people really wanna look at it, they can do it online.
Okay.
Yes, Tony, can I make a comment? Sure, go ahead. You want me to go up there or just here, okay?
You got those in there for a reason.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go up there. You have 3 minutes.
Show you how old I am. I graduated college in 1970. I went to work for an auditing firm in Chicago after college. I've been doing audits for, I retired about 3 years ago from doing audits, so I've been doing them for over 40 years. I did over 100, probably even 200 governmental audits, including counties and all other kind of governmental organizations. An audit report over a year late is absolutely useless. And I think Quorum Court ought to notify the state and ought to notify the state legislative audit committee that it's totally unacceptable. What good is an audit report a year after the fact? It's absolutely useless. They wasted their time and money, somebody's money, taxpayer money, in doing this thing. And it's just totally unacceptable.
Okay, point taken, Tony.
And I recommend the Quorum Court and the judge send a letter to the state and to the local representatives pointing this fact out.
Well, we'll just have to defer that to the county judge. Next on the agenda is new business, ordinance first reading. An ordinance providing for the levy of a 1% sale and use tax within Boone County, Arkansas for a period of 10 years. This is going to be your first ordinance and second, which they are stapled together.
This will be the first reading that we're about to do. We did it before, but Justice Roberts had started corresponding with the attorneys when he was on the Finance Committee and asked him just to continue being the point man with them. They suggested that we start over with the one they'd written instead of the one that we were using from the previous election. So I didn't see much difference, but we're paying them, so I guess we need to do what they say.
Okay.
So I would move that we put this on the first reading, ordinance 1 on the first reading. Bang, do it by title only.
Second.
Jim made a motion, put it on its first reading by title only.
Ralph, you second.
Dan, both of them did. So the motion's been made and seconded. So we put this on its first reading by title only. And, yes, so Jim, I will let you read that if you so desire.
Okay, I can find it over. I've got mine torn apart here.
It's right after
Okay, I got it.
5.
Being enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Boone, State of Arkansas, an ordinance being entitled, an ordinance providing for the levy of a 1/4% sales and use tax within Boone County, Arkansas, for a period of 10 years, and prescribing other matters pertaining thereto.
First reading, that's right.
I move that we suspend the rules and put it on the second reading.
Second.
Kathy's made the motion to suspend the rules and put this ordinance on its second reading, and seconded by Sam Kinsley.
By title only or full?
By title only.
And we need to vote to suspend those rules. So,
Just do voice vote, right?
call roll.
I think I will do roll call since it's sales tax.
Okay. Sam Kinsley,
Yes.
Robert Meek,
Yes.
Jim Hart,
Yes.
Ralph Quinn,
Yes.
James Widener,
Yes.
David Thompson,
Yes.
Frank Hampson,
Yes.
Dan Roberts,
Yes.
Brian Snavely,
Yes.
Kathy Valentine.
Yes.
I'll read it again.
Okay.
Be enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Boone, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance providing for the levy of a 1/4 of 1% sales and use tax within Boone County, Arkansas, for a period of 10 years, and describing other matters pertaining thereto.
Turn the air conditioner down a little bit.
Then,
We don't need to. Okay, we're just gonna do this, all right, so this took care of the second reading. Next on the agenda is, I guess it'd be ordinance number 2.
I move that this ordinance is placed on its first reading by title only.
second.
Jim. So this second ordinance has been, made a motion to put it on its first reading by title only. And we need to do a voice, I mean, not a roll call on it. Roll call.
Robert Meek,
Yes.
Jim Hart,
Yes.
Ralph Gwynn,
Yes.
James Whitener,
Yes.
David Thompson,
Yes.
Frank Hansen,
Yes.
Dan Roberts,
Yes.
Brian Snavely,
Yes.
Kathy Valentine,
Yes.
Sam Tinsley.
Yes.
Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Boone, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance calling a special election in Boone County, Arkansas, on the question of levying a countywide 1/4 of 1% sales and use tax and prescribing other matters pertaining thereto.
Sorry about that.
I move that we suspend the rules and put this ordinance on a second reading by title only.
Second.
Yes, Dave.
Between number 1 and number 2, I have a certificate. Is that part of 1 or part of number 2? Or it's the certificate, it's just the undersigned county clerk
A
certifies?
certificate becomes relevant when and if you pass the ordinance.
So it's a rider on ordinance 1?
The clerk will be requested to certify this to these attorneys, and they'll do the voodoo they do to comply with the sales tax.
Well, I thought it looked like the 1 ended. And anyway.
There'll be one like it for both ordinances.
So a motion's been made to suspend the rules and put ordinance number 2 on its second reading.
All right, roll
And
call.
roll call.
Jim Hart,
Yes.
Ralph Gwynn,
Yes.
James Whitener,
Yes.
David Thompson,
Yes.
Frank Hansen,
Yes.
Dan Roberts,
Yes.
Brian Snavely,
Yes.
Kathy Valentine,
Yes.
Sam Tinsley.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
David, there's a certificate on both of those. So,
There's several extra pages on both of them.
Dan, title only. Go ahead and read it by title only.
Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Boone, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance calling a special election in Boone County, Arkansas, on the question of levying a countywide 1/4 of 1% sales and use tax and prescribing other matters pertaining thereto.
Next on the agenda will be ordinance number 3, which is an ordinance appropriating funds for the Sheriff's Department, County Clerk's Office, Cobra, and other road department. And this is submitted by Sam Tinsley.
I would make a motion to read this ordinance by title only.
Second.
Motion has been made to read this by title only. It has been seconded by Dan.
do this involved on sales tax. And the only reason I did that other one, or suggested, is I'm a belt and suspenders kind of guy.
So we need to,
Just voice vote.
vote. Okay, we'll just do the voice vote, just to read it, yes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Boone, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance amending the annual budget for Boone County for the fiscal year 2016, and authorizing the county judge to administer such budget and for other purposes. Now therefore be it ordained by the Quorum Court of Boone County, Arkansas. Make a motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt. Second. Any discussion by Quorum Court? Sam, I'll turn this over to you since you submitted it. You have.
Well, all this is, we voted and passed this last week, and all it is, Tracy, correct me if I'm wrong, it was appropriated into the wrong line item, and all we're doing is correcting that
For the sheriff, yes.
for the sheriff.
Yes, Dixie.
Well, I just had a question. It was my understanding.
Now, is this on the ordinance that we're talking about right
Yes,
now?
sir.
Okay.
I just had a quick question. It was my understanding when y'all decided to buy the LEDs that it would be taken out of county general and not from the sheriff's budget, but this looks like it's taking it from the sheriff's budget, so I'm just questioning that.
The sheriff's budget comes out of county general. This moving it back within the sheriff's budget.
It's coming out of county general, it's the extra monies that are there, and we're depositing over into, added to his funds to do that. Any more discussion? Well, I guess there's no more discussion. We're ready for roll call for vote.
Ralph Quinn?
Yes.
James Whitener?
Yes.
David Thompson?
Yes.
Frank Hansen?
Yes.
Dan Roberts?
Yes.
Brian Snavely?
Yes.
Kathy Valentine?
Yes.
Sam Tinsley?
Yes.
Robert Meade?
Yes.
Jim Hart?
Yes.
Next on the agenda is ordinance number 4, which is an appropriation ordinance to appropriate funds to 911 budget from the 911 fund and the OEM office from the general fund for 2016 pictometry contract submitted by Kathy Valentine.
I move that we read this ordinance by title only.
Motion's been made to read by title only, seconded by okay. All in favor to read this by title only, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign.
Aye.
So we have one dissenting vote, so this will be read in its entirety.
Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Boone, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance amending the annual budget for Boone County for the fiscal year 2016 and authorizing the county judge to administer such budget and for other purposes. Now therefore be it ordained by the Quorum Court of Boone County, Arkansas. Section 1, the following appropriation is made from the County General Fund 1000 from 1000 County General $2,355 to 100-0500-3100 OEM, OS, and C, other miscellaneous, $2,355. This sum, $2,355, is the amount owed to Pictometry to finish the year under contract. Section 2, the following appropriation is made from the 911 Fund number 3020, from 3020 911 Fund, $3,139 to 3020-0501, 3071 911 OS and C, rent, equipment and machinery, $3,139. This sum, $3,139, is the amount owed to Pictometry to finish the year under contract. Section 3. If any provision or section of this ordinance is held invalid by a court of competent jurisdiction, such invalidity shall not affect other provisions and sections of the ordinance. And to such end, the provisions and sections of this ordinance are declared to be severable. Section 4, the ordinance herein enacted is an appropriation ordinance, and therefore it is an effective immediately. I move to adopt.
Second.
Motion's been made to adopt and seconded. Any discussions before court? Yes, David.
The assessor called me with some details that might not have been previously mentioned, but one of the big ones is between $1.5 and $2 million worth of properties that her office alone has been able to locate, and of course, by and large, supports the schools on the millage rate and everything. But it's doing her quite a bit of good. She was also saying that, since this shifting around for next year, she has some money in her budget that she doesn't mind paying for it all, since they're the main ones that utilize it. So we might keep that in mind when we're doing up the budget next year.
I received that same phone call as well.
Okay.
Yeah, we all do.
Okay. Well, anyway, it's beneficial to her, and of course, what I told her is it's very beneficial to you, but, by and large, the rest of the stuff, your cell phone can just about do what about everybody else needs to do. But it is extremely beneficial to her and to that office and to that process. So, I don't think there's a question of whether we need to do it. It's just, when we did it the first time, it's kind of a pie in the sky. Well, all these people could use it, but some of them just hasn't wound up using it.
Okay. Point taken, but now, if there's any other court members has any discussion on this, this is just moving money to finish out the contract that we've already bound to.
Yeah.
Okay. Any discussion?
Sure.
Yes.
Is this going to decrease the amount that we're paying if only one agency uses it?
No.
Not at all?
No.
It's still the same process of flying and,
That will come, I guess, in the near future, whenever this contract runs out, we'll be discussing this again. That's the way I kind of understand it. Any questions from the audience?
Call for the question.
My name is Teresa Matthews, and I wonder how long this contract was.
Lucretia, how long is it? Was it 2 years?
3.
For 3 years.
We have 2 more years. We renewed it. We had, the first contract was 3 years. We renewed it. There's 3 more years. This year and next year. It will end in December, I believe, of 2017.
And Teresa, what I understand, all we're doing, we're just moving up the remainder of this contract.
Right. We're just paid to finish out the
Yes,
contract.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now, when pictometry comes back up again, we'll start all over, I guess.
Okay.
So that's all we're doing tonight with this ordinance, is just appropriating money to finish it out.
Okay. I understand that, and I understand that a lot of property has come to the notice of the people who need to know in order to do the taxes. My question is, if that much extra income is coming to general fund or assessor, I'm not sure which way that goes.
The schools,
It goes to
primarily.
the schools primarily.
Millage on property goes primarily to the schools.
Okay. And the community college, et cetera. So, how much is the contract for 3 years? How much has this one been in total?
Teresa, I don't know the answer to that question.
Lucretia?
I don't know for certain because I only have the warrants for some of the other departments. But I think yearly it's around between 15 and 17,000 yearly.
Okay. It's a chunk of change. That's all I'm saying. Thank you.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, yes, ma'am.
Could I have that figure again on how many dollars in improvements the assessor's office has done?
You'll have to see the Karen Hardesty.
I'm sorry, that gentleman over there said earlier the assessor's office called him and said a dollar amount in improvements.
Yeah, about $1.5 million.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Now, that's over 4 years.
Okay, thank you.
If there's no further discussion, Dan has called for the vote.
James Whiteley,
Yes.
David Thompson,
Yes.
Frank Hanson,
Yes.
Dan Roberts.
Yes.
Brian Stabler.
Yes.
Kathy Valentine.
Yes.
Sam Kinsley.
Yes.
Robert Meeks.
Yes.
Jim Hart.
Yes.
Ralph Quinn.
Yes.
Next on the agenda is appropriation ordinance appropriating funds from the general fund for the AAC workers' comp oath for 2016. This was submitted by Brian Snable.
I'd make a motion to, because of the amount, read this in its entirety and do a little explanation of this.
Motion's been made to read it in its entirety. Is there a second?
Second.
Kathy, you're right.
Okay, appropriation ordinance number 5, being enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Boone, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled. An ordinance amending the annual budget for Boone County for the fiscal year 2016 and authorizing the county judge to administer such budget and for other purposes. Now therefore be it ordained by the Quorum Court of the County of Boone, State of Arkansas, Section 1. The following appropriation is made from the County General Fund number 1000. From Fund 1000 County General, the amount of $35,043 to 1,100-1010 Judge Personal Services Workman's Compensation, $35,043. This sum, $35,043, is the amount owed to the Arkansas Association of Counties Workman's Comp for the year 2016 due to AAC billing Boone County short for the year 2015. The 2016 budget did not reflect this error in amount owed, and that documentation is available. Section 3, if any provision or section of this ordinance is held invalid by a court of competent jurisdiction, such invalidity shall not affect other provisions and sections of this ordinance, and to such end the provision and sections of this ordinance are declared to be severable. Section 4, this ordinance herein enacted is an appropriation ordinance, and therefore it is effective immediately.
Actually, I think we need to vote to read it in its entirety. We've already done it. We can vote to do that and read it by title only. She's read it in entirety. I don't think y'all took a vote. He did escape.
Well, we could vote on the kind of job he did.
All in favor, the way you read it.
That was my fault. I kind of jumped the gun.
It's all right.
Tomorrow go foul.
I'll make a motion that we read it by title only.
A motion has been made to read this by title only after we've read it in its entirety, and a second has been made by Sam, Frank, somebody.
I think we should table that motion. Yeah. Well, we've already done it. There's no point in doing it again, is there?
You didn't ever vote on it first time.
We didn't vote on it.
We got to document it.
Somebody's gonna
We
vote
just
on
read
it.
it, so.
I'll withdraw my table motion.
All those in favor to read this by title only, say aye. All opposed to read this by title only, same sign. Motion carries. If you will clean my mistake up and read it by title only.
Yes, sir. Being enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Boone, State of Arkansas. An ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance amending the annual budget for Boone County for the fiscal year 2016 and authorizing the county judge to administer such budget and for other purposes. Now therefore be it ordained by the Quorum Court of the Boone County, State of Arkansas.
Any discussion with this?
I move to adopt.
Move to adopt. Sam, sorry. Any discussion with Quorum Court? Yes, Kathy.
I have a question.
Yes.
Was there anything that sent up a red flag, a discrepancy from one year to the other regarding this? I mean,
No.
as a difference in what was billed?
We go by on their numbers. We go by their numbers when we're putting the budget together, what they say it's going to be, that's what we plug in. Because many times that's what we're waiting on, some of the final figures on some of that, they told us, but as I explained to Robert Mick the other day, we got another on that since it's kind of a co-op kind of a thing, it's not a company like I don't know, some big insurance company. They've not got the profits built into it that the companies do. So, a company, if it was their error, they might just eat it because they're making a lot of money. They're providing a service basically in a co-op form. So,
well, my concern was, to prevent this from happening before, was there anything that we could have noticed that would have prevented?
I don't think there's anything that we could have done as far as the county. This comes, I understand, from AAC, and if they make the mistake, like I say, they don't pay for it.
Yeah.
We have to figure out where the money's coming from to take care of their mistake when they send us the wrong figures. That's the way I have understood it.
Well, and it's trying to foresee the unforeseeable future with, we could have a workman's comp
It was
claim.
just a mistake
Yeah.
in calculation by AAC, or the risk management department of AAC. And
Yes.
their comeback was, well, if you had looked to see how much different the 2 years were, that should have alerted you that there was a problem, and it wasn't done.
well, we had a decrease.
And the other thing is, it's going to happen again for another year.
That was my question, Mayor. Thank you.
There was supposed to be a decrease, I think, in the last couple of years in workers' comp. I believe, wasn't it workers' comp?
And the modifier
Yeah.
went
So
down.
we were anticipating a decrease. Well, when it decreased, and it's compounded by the timing of this. They didn't find this out until we already had our 16 budget done, which reflected the erroneous 15 numbers. So that's what doubled it, basically.
And David, we also got a refund.
Yeah, like $12,000.
No, it was 3,000 and
Oh,
something.
that
Yeah.
was the
That-
other one that we got the
Yeah.
bigger refund on.
Yeah.
Any further discussion from the court? Any questions from the audience that we may or may not can answer? Yes.
I just have one quick question. I read about this in the Harrison News, and it stated that the call was first placed in December about the shortfall. Why did it take 4 months for the Quorum Court to even realize what was going on and was notified about it? Or did the Quorum Court know about this back in December or early January?
We did not know. I did not know about it just recently until we were told that there's a mistake made by them.
Okay.
And then, of course, once that happens, then we've got to,
You have to address it, I understand that, but my question is, if Lucretia, and I think they quoted her saying in the newspaper, she got the call in December, why did it take from her getting a call in December 4 months to let the Quorum Court know there's a problem and we need to address it?
I can't answer that.
Can I answer that?
Yes, ma'am. You have the floor.
AAC was trying to determine exactly what we were going to owe and what the difference was going to be. And so Tammy, that works in county clerk's office, and I were in the loop. We didn't know until mid to late December. And so we were talking and working with Debbie Norman, who is the director of the risk management down there. And we were trying to figure out what we were going to do. And some of the members of the Quorum Court did know ahead of time, before tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Roll call.
David Thompson.
Yes.
Frank Hampson.
Yes.
Dan Roberts.
Yes.
Brian Stabley.
Yes.
Kathy Valentine.
Yes.
Sam Kinsley.
Yes.
Robert Meek.
Yes.
Jim Park.
Yes.
Ralph Quinn.
No.
James White.
Yes. Next on the agenda is another appropriation ordinance, which is number 6. Ordinance appropriating funds for the services of the county attorney, submitted by Justice Dan Roberts.
I move this ordinance be placed on its first reading.
Second.
Motion's been made to place this ordinance on its first reading, seconded by Dan Tinsley. We don't have to vote, we just.
You can take a voice vote, put it on first reading.
All in favor, put this on its first reading?
Aye.
Aye. Are all opposed? Same sign.
Couldn't hear you. Go on.
I understand.
There will only be one reading. This is an appropriation ordinance. It doesn't require one.
Okay. Well, who put it on this first reading?
He did.
I know.
Well, what do we do now?
I'm just
Vote of 8.
You voted to put it on and read it one time, law just requires one time, we call it first, second, or whatever.
It'll take 8 votes to pass.
First and only.
Yes.
That'd be the way to
Okay,
go.
well, maybe that's what we should have, that way we wouldn't be any confusion. First and only.
Are you ready?
You're going to read it in?
I will. Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Boone, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance amending the annual budget for Boone County for the fiscal year 2016 and also authorizing the county judge to administer such budget and for other purposes. Now therefore be it named by the Quorum Court of Boone County, Arkansas, Section 1, annual budget adopted by reference. The annual budget for calendar year 2016 identified as 2016 annual budget, Boone County, Arkansas, dated December 15, 2016, is hereby adopted by reference and may be part hereof as well set out herein word for word. Section 2, General Fund number 1,000. The following funds are hereby appropriated from the General Fund number 1,000. Number 1,000-01004, County Judge, Personal Services, Contract Labor, $24,000. This sum, $24,000, is the amount required to fund annually the employment of legal counsel to serve the court. Authority is ACA 14-902-2. Section 3. If any provision or section of this ordinance held invalid by a court of competent jurisdiction, such invalidity shall not affect other provisions and sections of the ordinance, and to such end, the provisions and sections of this ordinance are clear and severable. Section 4. The ordinance herein enacted is an appropriation ordinance and therefore is effective immediately. I move to adopt.
Motion's been made to adopt and seconded by Sam Tinsley. Discussion.
The other night at the budget finance committee meeting, I thought, this is not for an entire year. It's supposed to be 24,000 a year, right?
That's what it says anyway.
And so it won't really be that amount for this year.
The rest of the year, no.
So we need to appropriate a little less. We need to appropriate $16,000 instead of $24,000. So where are we at on it? The
Discussion. Well,
okay, well, at this point, I would amend that to read $16,000 because we've got 8 months left.
That would not be correct. To do that, you'd have to remove the word annually.
We can do that. We'll amend it that way as well.
You're still going to finish out the year.
Well, yeah, but we're appropriating $24,000 for a $16,000 expense.
But you're not going to spend it. You're only going to spend $2,000 a month.
I know that. But why are we appropriating more than we need in there? Next year's a new year.
It would be carried over.
Well, how about let's make it simple and not have to carry it over? Because we carry so much stuff over that that's where it gets cloudy for a lot of people. I think straightforward is the best way.
I second David's motion.
Well, that's all you really need is $2,000 per
Okay,
month.
so the motion that you're making is to amend this by $16,000.
Yeah, to the number that we're going to be expending in 2016.
Okay, David has made the motion to.
And what was the other?
And delete annually.
Delete annual.
So when do we propose to?
About the words for the balance of the year
Yeah, I mean that.
2016.
Well, if we don't equate it, the 8 months equals 16,000, but
The
yeah,
balance of the year.
just in parentheses, $2,000 in
Have you
there.
already started?
There's too much going on, Frank. I can't hear
I'm
you.
not worried about
Why not word it
just whatever's coming.
for the
Oh,
balance
and
of
they need it.
2016 instead of the word annual?
Yeah, I've already.
That's what it is, we're paying in for the balance of the year, 2016.
That will be up to,
They want to take the word annual out, fine and dandy, I agree. But you got to put something back in there that identifies.
Okay, we can put something in parentheses that says $2,000 per month.
That would be the simple way to handle it.
And we could just, well,
okay,
we
restate.
need the 16 though as well, because that's the total appropriated for this year.
Restate your motion for me.
Okay, amending the 24,000 to read 16,000, omitting annually, and then after Well, inside those parentheses. Well, okay, the sum 16,000 is the amount required to fund the remaining 8 months is what we got to do. We got to fund that, the 16 to the 8 months. Is that right? I mean, or is it going to be? This is the 4th month.
All right, let's.
What?
I know, no,
It's 8 months, right?
Okay.
But it's not gonna start till the 1st of May.
Well, then that would be 7 months. If that's, I don't know what the start date is.
January, February, March, this is April. Because
Yeah.
you're working April, it's 9 months.
Well, is he working now?
Yes. He's here.
But gentlemen, I don't start it whenever you want to start it.
Well,
I'm not
if
worried
you've
about
already
it.
been working all year, well, that's just
Not
not
all year,
no.
no, that would not
You
be
know.
fair. I've answered some questions and worked with some people, but I don't care if y'all started April, May, or June.
But let me ask you, don't we need to appropriate actually for an expenditure? That's all I'm asking, is just appropriate the money that we need in the remainder of Oct 16. I'm willing to go with $16,000. That's 8 months.
So, let me see if I've got your motion correct in my mind. You're appropriating, we're amending it by appropriating $16,000 and removing the word annual just to complete this year. That's the amount of money that we're looking at, right? I mean, that's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be complete for the year of 2016, not the rest of the year.
Well, we know what year we're in.
To clarify, this sum, $16,000, could be expended at the rate of $2,000 per month.
There you go.
That's very good.
Motion's been made with your approval.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, well, that's what we're trying to do.
$16,000
Yeah.
at $2,000 per month for
Yeah.
the remainder of this
That
year.
gets everything in there.
Okay.
And it appropriates the correct amount.
Well, just make sure Crystal gets this written down to wait.
Oh, and retroactive to the 1st of April. That'll give us our 8 months. Is that right? No. I trusted James' arithmetic.
I didn't say anything about that amount. I said, let's make it retroactive. Because I know it's already done some work.
I agree. To the 1st of this month, well, then that would be 9 months.
Yes. 18,000.
Okay, so 18,000.
And I second that.
Now, we want to be right, but we want to have the right
Then
number.
why did you bring it all up?
Because we're appropriating $15,000 more than we need to.
Okay.
I think I got the
All
question
right.
here somewhere.
Okay, what the amendment is about is now $18,000 to complete 2,000 a month to complete the year of 2016.
And deleting
And deleting annual.
Yes.
Yeah, we need a second.
We do need to second that. Is there any, do you want to discuss your second?
No,
Okay, good deal.
absolutely
No, I
not.
understand. My goodness.
You are going to.
I'm lost. I mean, yeah, it's quite a fight to get an accurate number, isn't it?
Okay.
You're going to include the $2,000 per month, though.
It's in.
Yes, she's got it in here. Okay.
All right.
No, we should do roll call on this
Roll call.
amendment.
We're voting on the amendment. So we're fixing to do a roll call.
Just for the amendment.
Okay.
Okay. Frank Hampson,
Yes.
Dan Roberts,
Yes.
Brian Stingley.
Yes.
Kathy Valentine.
Yes.
Sam Tinsley.
Yes.
Robert Meade.
Yes.
Jim Hart.
Yes.
Ralph Quinn.
Yes.
James Widener.
Yes.
Killing me. David Thompson.
Yes.
All right.
Motion carries. So now it's back to,
Call for the question.
Question on the ordinance as amended.
That's a new page. Hold on.
okay, new page, hold on. She says. We're back to the vote on the ordinance as amended. I hope you fellas will get the big badge.
We're trying not to waste y'all's future money.
Yes.
There is no contract, is that correct?
Study now.
Look, what I told the judge was, and I'll do it any way I want to. The way I've always worked is, y'all appropriate the money, hire me. If at any time you all are dissatisfied or the judge is dissatisfied, he can say, thank you, we don't need you anymore. And that's the way it ought to be. I'm a big boy, and I'll either perform and be happy or I won't. find somebody else. But I don't need a contract, and so these guys can tell you, just call me if you need me. I don't necessarily even need to be your attorney to help you with some things.
Would you prefer to have one at some point in time? I mean, there is a contract, a blanket one, but I'm just asking.
Well, I would just like to talk about what the duties will be. I mean, what you see is, they're shown in that ordinance.
What I told the judge to do, I would give advice and counsel. I will not necessarily draft ordinances because that would get to be overly burdensome, but I'll review them, I'll counsel on them, I'll suggest changes to them, and that kind of thing. I will, if you have a question and you call me, I will give you an answer. I'll answer the county judge. The only thing that I would tell all of you is that if you send me a letter or you have a question about an item that's going to come before this body that may or may be controversial, for example, I will respond to you, but I will respond to the rest of the Quorum Court at the same time. In other words, I'll send you your response. I'll give the county judge a response to be distributed to the balance of the court. And my reason for that is not to be difficult. When you all sit in this body to vote, I think good people, armed with good information, make good decisions. And if you all have the same information and the same amount of understanding, then I think you'll come to a decision that you'll be happy with, or at least maybe be satisfied with. We don't want to all agree, but and one other thing I'll caution you: I make legal, illegal decisions. Can you do it? Yes. How do you do it? Yes. I do not make good, better, and best decisions. That's why y'all get paid. If y'all decide what's best for Boone County, no one's authorized me to make that decision in any way, shape, or form, or fashion. And I'll give you all the advice and counsel I have. Certain litigation will not be handled by me. Certain things have to be handled by other lawyers, and I expect y'all to hire those, just like the sales tax. Dan and I worked on that a little bit. You'll need to hire some other lawyers. Mike Rainwater will represent you all a lot in a lot of things that go on. So there's other rings to be kissed other than mine sometimes, and I hope you'll understand that. Okay?
Now, we need a motion to adopt as amended and seconded. Do we have that?
I'll make that motion.
Sam makes a motion. Ralph seconds. As not as amended.
Did I answer your question good enough for you?
All right.
Is there any discussion with the audience? Yes, Brian. Okay. Wait a minute. I thought you had a question.
Dan Roberts.
Yes.
Brian Stingley.
Yes.
Kathy Valentine.
Yes.
Dan Kinsley.
Yes.
Robert Meek.
Yes.
Jim Park.
Yes.
Ralph Gwynn.
Yes.
James Wagner.
Yes.
David Thompson.
Yes.
Frank Hansen.
Yes.
Next item on the agenda is number 7. Appropriation ordinance. An ordinance to appropriate funds for the drug court submitted by Justice Ralph Gwynn.
I'll make a motion, we read this in its entirety.
Second. Motion's been made. All those, to read it in its entirety, all those approved say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Ralph, the floor is yours.
Appropriation ordinance number 7, being enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Boone, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance amending the annual budget for Boone County for the fiscal year 2016 and authorizing the county judge to administer such budget and for other purposes. Now therefore be it ordained by the Quorum Court of Boone County, Arkansas, Section 1, the following appropriation is made from the Drug Court Fund number 3028. From 3028 Drug Court, $72,500. To 3028-0404-3101 Drug Court Fund, OS&C Training and Education, $4,500. To 3028-0404-3103 Drug Court Fund, OS&C Grants and Aid, $2,500. 2804 04-3110 Drug Court Fund, OS and C, ACC grant of $58,000. To 3028-0404-3111 Drug Court Fund, OS and C donations, $7,500. This sum, $72,500, is grants and donations obtained from various individuals and organizations for the fiscal year 2016. Section 2. If any provision or section of this ordinance is held invalid by a court of competent jurisdiction, such invalidity shall not affect other provisions and sections of this ordinance. And to such end, the provisions and sections of this ordinance are declared to be severable. Section 3. This ordinance herein enacted is an appropriation ordinance, and therefore it is effective immediately. I move to adopt.
Second. Motion's been made to adopt, and Dan Roberts seconded. Any
This is
discussion?
first and only reading, right?
Any discussion from the Quorum Court? Any discussion from the audience?
Donations are wonderful.
Roll call for the voice vote.
Brian Stabely,
Yes.
Kathy Valentine,
Yes.
Sam Kinsley.
Yes.
Robert Meek.
Yes.
Jim Hart.
Yes.
Ralph Quinn.
Yes.
James Wagner.
Yes.
David Thompson.
Yes.
Frank Hampson.
Yes.
Dan Roberts.
Yes.
Next on the agenda, since we've amended it, is going to be a resolution, which is going to be number 8. And we've already read this in its entirety. And so I move that we adopt.
You can't move.
I can't move this. Yeah.
You could entertain a motion.
Yeah, okay, since I'm chairman, I'll entertain it.
I move we adopt.
Is this the one you read?
That's the resolution, yeah, that's the one we read earlier when we was amending the agenda.
I do. You're wondering.
Any discussion with this resolution?
Yes.
I think we have to point out that we in good faith had intended that this happen from day one. It didn't get done. We did come up with a resolution in 2011 to instate that. However, we had not charged up until that time, and did not throughout up to the end of this year. We have never charged that. And if they don't, of course, approve the sales tax, then it will be withdrawn. But we've acted in good faith from day one. We've been accused of not acting in good faith, but we have acted in good faith since day one. Our intention, we're always there.
Any further discussion by the Quorum Court? I will add this one thing. Remember, this only takes care of the cities within Boone County. Any prisoners coming in from out of county or out of state will be charged. Correct, Sheriff?
Most of the time, yes.
Most of the time, okay.
There are times when, say, for instance, Marion County, if they have a difficult inmate, they need us to take them for a few days, or if they're full, we might take those for a few days and not charge them. For the simple fact, there's times that we have an inmate that we need to separate from our jail, and we ask them to house them for a few days. So there's a little bit of reciprocation there. That if it's going to be long term, yes.
But that's between you and the other sheriff, or
Yes.
that you're dealing with, that y'all make those decisions concerning your office.
If it's long term, we'll charge them. If it's just for a short period of time, we do that back and forth for each other.
Is there any discussion from the audience? Yes.
I just have a quick question. I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly, but
This program is brought to you as a public service of KTKO Channel 8.